The Ferrari SF-26 has finally hit the track in Barcelona, and after months of guessing and waiting, we are finally getting a real good look at the car that Ferrari hopes will bring them back to winning championships. And let me tell you, there is a lot to talk about. This is not just a small update to last year's car. It is a complete new way of thinking, a brand new machine from front to back, full of cool ideas and some really smart design choices. But what is even more exciting is the news that this is not even the finished version. What we are seeing now is just the start. A basic first version with a much wilder and stronger version waiting for final OK from the FIA. So what have we learned now that the SF-26 has been tested by Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton? Let's break down the design of this interesting new Ferrari step by step in simple words. First, let's talk about the suspension. This is one of the biggest and most important changes for Ferrari. For years, they have used a pull rod system, but for 2026, they have switched to a push rod setup on both the front and the rear. Almost every other team on the grid, including Red Bull and Mercedes, has done the same thing. So, what does this mean? In simple terms, it changes where the inside parts of the suspension sit. A pushrod system moves those parts up higher inside the car's body. This cleans up the airflow lower down, which is super important for the new floor rules. With the new regulations forcing air inwards towards the floor, having a clean, clear path for that air is really key. By moving the suspension parts out of the way, Ferrari can feed the floor with better quality airflow, which should give more downforce and make the car more stable. It is a big change that needed a complete redesign of the car's chassis and even the gearbox. But Ferrari clearly thinks it is the right move to get the essence performance from these new rules. At the front, they have also added something called a multi-link wishbone. McLaren used this last year and it worked really well. It is a smart trick that gives the engineers more choices for setup and can help manage the tires better, which could be a huge help during long races. They have also moved the steering arm behind the suspension. Another idea they got from other teams which helps clean up the airflow even more. Every tiny detail matters when you are trying to direct the air exactly where you want it. The front wing itself is pretty simple for now, but that is on purpose. Ferrari is starting with a basic idea to get clean data and will add more tricky flaps and parts as testing goes on. They have also chosen not to have a normal brake duct inlet, another trick to make the front of the car more aerodynamic. With all these smart suspension changes and the promise of a much stronger aero package still coming, it makes you wonder. Has Ferrari, under the new leadership of technical director Loic Serra, who came from Mercedes, finally found the right design way to beat Red Bull? Or are they trying to be too smart, making a car that might be too complicated and hard to figure out? Serra's influence is obvious, bringing ideas from his time at the championship-winning Mercedes team, but mixing them with Ferrari's own special style. The next big area is the side pods and the floor. This is where races are won and lost in modern Formula One. The side pods on the SF-26 that we have seen so far look quite big and chunky compared to some other cars like the super skinny Red Bull. They have a P-shaped inlet for cooling. But the team has been super clear that this is not the final look. They are being very careful with cooling at the beginning, and the rear cooling outlet is the biggest we have seen on any of the new cars. This means the final version will have much tighter, more wrapped around bodywork, which will be way better for aerodynamics. They are collecting data with this safe first version to make sure the engine does not get too hot. And once they feel good about it, they will bring in the stronger bodywork that will make the car faster. Underneath the car, the floor is full of cool details. There is a feature that people are calling the mouse house, a hole in the side of the diffuser. Mercedes has something similar. This hole lets air move from the outside of the car to the inside of the diffuser, which helps the diffuser work better and create more downforce. Think of it like giving the airflow a little push to keep it stuck and working well. Ferrari's version is big, but it does not seem to wrap over the top of the diffuser like the one on Mercedes, but this shows a different way to solve the same problem. It is all about handling the tricky airflows at the back of the car to get the maximum possible downforce from the underfloor. Then there are the new barge boards or floorboards. The rules for these have changed and they are supposed to push the air inwards, but teams are already trying to find ways around this. Ferrari is using a clever design with a vertical piece at the front and 3 slats to try and guide the air back outwards, which is better for performance. They have also used 2 metal rods to make this part of the floor extra stiff so it does not bend at high speed. But sources say that these 2 rods will disappear on the final version of the car, which suggests the final floor design is much stronger and more advanced and will produce even more downforce. Moving to the engine and the airbox, Ferrari is the only team so far to stick with a small triangular airbox on top of the car. They have also kept their special engine design with a steel cylinder head. This is a very bold choice. Steel is heavier than the aluminum that other teams use, but it is much stronger. This lets the engine run at super high temperatures and pressures, which means it can make more power and needs less cooling. This is a huge advantage because it means the radiators can be smaller and therefore the side pods can be made smaller, which is great for aerodynamics. It is a perfect example of the engine team and the aero team working together really well. It is a high-risk, high-reward plan, but if it works, it could be a genius move. So what does this all mean? The SF-26 is a car that is full of clever and bold design ideas. The switch to push rod suspension, the unique engine idea, and the hints of a much stronger aerodynamic package to come are all very exciting. But the most important news is that this is just the beginning. The team is waiting for the FIA to approve some of their more extreme ideas, including the new floor design that will get rid of the 2 metal support rods. This will not be a B-spec car, but rather the first major upgrade package that will change the car we see today into the real SF-26. The team has also made the car's wheelbase shorter than the maximum allowed, saving weight and helping with the car's balance. Every gram counts when you are trying to build the fastest car on the grid. For the fans, the Tifosi, this is a moment of great hope. The car looks good, it was reliable on its first day, and it was even fast in the wet. The team seems organized and confident, but we have seen this before. The real test will be whether they can turn this early promise into a car that can fight for the championship all season long. They are taking risks, but in Formula One, you have to take risks to win. The question is, have they taken the right ones? The early signs are promising. The car is a fascinating mix of proven ideas and bold new things. It is a testament to the hard work of the entire team at Maranello, from the engine department to the aerodynamicists. All that is left is to see if it is fast enough. We will start to get the answer when the final spec car hits the track in Bahrain and the lights go out for the first race in Australia. Point towards fast.